Have you ever dated someone and wondered, how did I end up here? Like your heart knew better, your loneliness, or your fantasies convinced you otherwise. If you have ever found yourself choosing potential instead of wisdom, or vibes instead of values, then baby, pull up your seat and let's dive into this episode, as this episode will hit you in the right places. Welcome to Unscripted Rebirth, where you evolve, grow, mature, and learn from your past lessons and reclaim your power one unscripted at a time. And I'm your host, Britannia, and join me today as we dive deep into the date with intelligence and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. Because let's be honest, right? Modern dating can either elevate you or it drain the life out of you. And most of us experience being drained after we leave a relationship, right? And dating with intelligence means something clearly different from just dating another cute face, right? And a sweet talker or somebody who texts you back consistently for the 3 days and then nothing after. And dating intelligently means you are choosing someone who adds value to your life and not subtract, right? And someone whose presence feels grounded and not confusing. Someone whose intuition are consistent and not conditional. Let's talk about confidence for a second, right? Because girl confidence will have you believing that you are invincible. Confidence is beautiful, right? But intelligence is what keeps your heart intact. And you can be the baddest, the finest, the hottest, the prettiest, and be the best version of you. But if the choices you make dating are rooted in loneliness, fantasies, or unhappy choices are not healing choices, confidence will end up being fragile. As I once thought, if dating an older man was the smartest choice, right? And the logic was there. The older man, I thought the older man means maturity, means stable, means emotional intelligence, and also they're not up for game. You get me? They put the game back in the past. Was I so wrong? I could even write a book about it. But better yet, I could even start a series called Surviving My Ex, right? Because older man doesn't mean wiser. It doesn't mean healed. Also, it doesn't mean safe. And older definitely does not mean emotionally stable. Because my first real heartbreak, right, came from an older man who I least expected would have broke my heart, right? And I could simply put what a narcissist he turned out to be, right? But not the cute narcissist that people joke about online, right? I mean the confusing, the manipulative one. Damn. He was the type that even make you question your reality, if it's even real, and question your self worth and your intuition until you wake up and say, this is abuse. Even if it's not physical, it's mental abuse. And the saddest part is most of us saw the red flag because our intuition tells us, even our guardian angel screams at us, something within our spirit just felt something was wrong, right? But when you want something to work, you convince yourself the fire is warm rather than the fire is actually hot, as everybody else outside the relationship can see. That's why dating with intelligence isn't just about choosing better, it's about listening better. It's about listening to your body, your spirit, your peace, your boundaries, and your discomfort, because your intuition is undefeated. And even if your heart is messy, once you listen to your intuition, it's a done deal. You will avoid all those red flags that cause your life misery and drain your energy. Topic I would like to touch on as it relates to dating intelligently and which can help us improve our self worth, and not only our self worth, but help us as it when it comes rather as it relates to dating intelligence is celibacy. And celibacy plays a great role when it comes to dating intelligently because the art of choosing yourself deeply that give you the opportunity to stop giving your body to people who do not deserve it, right? And also, celibacy isn't about punishment and it's not a religion to even say you're practicing, right? It's about helping you to regain your strength and your spirit and to find back yourself rather. And also give you the opportunity to not entertain anything that confuses you emotionally or drain your spirit. And here's the part that people always ask and always afraid to be outspoken about it is that can you be celibate and still use sex toys or evil vibrators? Which I think is the same thing, right? But I'm just trying to specify those vibrators, right? And to my understanding, based off my research, I think yes, persons can still use sex toys for their pleasure and still be celibate, right? This is just my opinion based on my research, right? Because celibacy to me is about not engaging with other people, right? And it's about preserving your energy, not suppressing your humanity, rather. And if you choose not to share intimacy with someone else, but still choose to explore your own body privately, your celibacy, because you get to understand in your body, right? And celibacy between you, your soul, your healing, and your discipline is not for society to even interpret either. And that right there means you're dating with intelligence. So you stop romanticizing potential, you stop chasing validation, you stop calling red flags yellow, you stop giving chances to people who haven't even earned the access to you, right? And you stop losing yourself to situationships that drain your energy, right? And dating with intelligence means you don't let your desires blind you. You don't let your loneliness negotiate your standards. You don't let your heart lead without consulting your mind. Because when we're getting in dating, it's either we follow one or the other. We don't use both. But when you're dating intelligence, you use both your heart and your mind, not one or the other, right? Because attraction without discernment, guys, trust me, it will only bring chaos every single time. So dating intelligently is basically choosing peace over excitement, clarity over chemistry, and self-respect over temporary attention. So let me ask you this gently but honestly. I want you to think to yourself and answer these questions. And if you even like to share it with me on the channel, is that where in your dating life have you ignored your intuition? Parents taught you the difference between desire and discernment. And what would dating look like if you honored what you know instead of what you hope, right? Because remember, intelligence does weigh your softness, right? It helps you to protect your heart because it's very valuable. It helps you protect your energy, your soul, because your heart, your soul is not a playground for anybody else to take advantage of, right? And you deserve love that feels like oxygen, not confusion. You deserve someone who adds value to your life rather than subtract value from your life, right? And someone who is the
Because if
main
there's
one thing I would like you to take from this episode, right? Is that attraction without discernment drains you, and choosing connection that does not feed your energy or your soul only brings emptiness in you. I would like to say thank you for tuning in to Unscripted Rebirth. And this episode resonates with you. I'd like you to like, subscribe, and comment. And also, I'd like you to take key lessons from today's episode and apply it to your life because Here at Unscripted Rebirth, we learn, we grow, we evolve, and we are going to break through by breaking each layer at a time and bring the best version of us to the world, right? So I'm your host, Britannia, today, and I like to say bye.